Secret topic today. Quite excited about this one. Hammer that like button. Get it hammered right away. Smash that like button. That's how we spread the word. And we are going to get right into this as people arrive to talk about the secret topic of today. And I'm going to give you some clues about what this topic is. However, I do want to give people a chance to arrive. I know some people will be getting a cup of coffee and stuff like that. A lovely cup of coffee. Secret revealed. Nope, not yet. We'll be there, though. No break. Do I normally have a break, Pavia? I don't know. Hello, everybody. My name is Professor Rich. And today, I've got a great class for you. I love this class. We are going to learn about really interesting historical character. And we're going to watch a video from another channel. A fantastic video. And hopefully they won't copyright strike me. Hello everyone, great to have you here. Hello there, Moto Buddy, Nipa. Hello, Patricia Hassa. Hello, Daisy Lee. Hello, Nipa Begum. Hello, Ramelia. Pavia. Hello. Are you ready? Here is your first clue about the secret topic today. Using fear as a weapon. That's your first clue. Using fear as a weapon. Guesses in the chat. Hello, Nimesh Shetri. How are you? Julian Gabriele Spinola. Good day. And Zoya, good to see you again. I really wish I had more coffee. Maybe I should have taken a break. Never mind. We're in class now. Psychological warfare, says Daisy Lee. An element is psychological warfare. Pavia says, more clues, and then does the Zoya says, propaganda. Okay, let's move on. Living in an outlaw haven. So, what do I mean outlaw? And what does haven mean? Answers in the chat. What is outlaw and what is haven? Take a moment, everyone, to hit the like button. Smash that like button. Give a thumbs up. That helps to spread the stream so we get more people. So please hit that like button right now. I really do appreciate that. Ashley Chen says gaslighting. So that's an interesting term, Ashley Chen. I almost said Ghastly Chen. Ashley Chen, gaslighting. Gaslighting is when you say something to someone to make them think they're kind of crazy. Like they're saying something that's true and you try to say it's not true. That's gaslighting someone. This is not what we're talking about. Hello, Marta Guyen. I'm Marta from Acapulco, Mexico. Marta Guyen. Nice to see you, Marta. Guyen. Okay. Right, so Kashata Robbie says, haven is a safe place. That's right. So, outlaw is like criminal. Haven, safe place. So an outlaw haven is a safe place for criminals. I'm going to reveal the next clue. Cruising America's East Coast. Careful, Pavia. I feel like you're about to guess this. I can feel your brain working. And I think you have the information you need to guess it. Daisy, I bet you're about to guess it as well. Cruising America's East Coast. Using fear as a weapon. Living in an outlaw haven. Smash that like button. I just have 7 likes, but there's 30 people watching. Hello? Give me that. Illegal immigrants? No. Oh, Renate, that's so good. Vikings. Daisy. You got it. She's got it. Well done, Daisy Lee. Here are the rest of the clues for those watching the video after the stream. Here's the clues. Maybe you could pause the video to guess before you look at Daisy's answer. The answer is pirates. We're going to talk about pirates. Now, I don't know about your country, but English children love pirates. They love to talk about pirates, and we love learning about pirates. English people love learning about pirates. Pirates are kind of cool for us, kind of like Robin Hood, even though in reality, pirates were probably pretty bad or pretty ruthless people. We're going to talk about a very specific pirate, and that is this guy. So, who is it? What does he look like? What does he look like? What else can you see in the picture? So type in the chat, and the chat is right there on PC or down there on mobile. Type now in the live chat if you're watching live. Who is this guy? What does he look like? What else can you see in the picture? And I will tell you that he is the most famous pirate in the world, according to English people. Daisy says he looks very attractive and she wants to marry him. Pavia says looks like rich in disguise. Actually, it does a bit. Columbus, says Motor Buddy. Not so sure about that. Patrihasa, pirates from Somalia still exist. Yes, I know, but we're talking about pirates a long time ago. Lolly, you know it. Maybe in France you study pirates a little bit. So this is Blackbeard. Blackbeard the pirate. So what does he look like, and what else can you see in the picture? It's a well-dressed man who overlooks and controls prisoners or employees on a ship. Not prisoners, Ahmad. Actually, a very interesting thing about pirates is they were very democratic. Pavia says you've done a stream on the same issue before, Rich. Yeah, like 3 years ago. And I have a special surprise for you today. It's a little different, this stream. We're going to watch a really cool video, which is actually the video I got this lesson from. But when I streamed on Oxford on this topic, I was worried about copyright. On my own channel, I'm not so worried. I can do this. Alvaro Lenin Kishipa Salas says, good morning, Professor Rich. Greetings from Ecuador. Edward Marcelo says, So he's holding a stick. It's like a stick to stand on. Quite common for sailors and stuff. What about these things on his chest? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 guns. Or pistols, yeah, pistols. Gun more generally, pistol specifically, or handgun. Why does he have 8? He doesn't have 8 arms. Can't use 8 guns at the same time. So why does he have 8? Well, Nipa, we're going to learn about that. Lucky number. Right, so you carry 8 guns. No, I'll tell you why. It's because the guns in those days, these guns are called flintlock pistols. Flintlock pistol. Put that here. So, a flintlock pistol is a one-shot pistol. It's like this. And that's it. Then, to reload the pistol, it takes maybe 10 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes. Now, if you're fighting, you don't have 10 minutes to reload the pistol. So, the pirates, they would fire the gun and then throw it. Throw it to the floor. So you just got 8 shots with that, with your guns. 8 guns, 8 shots. Bang, throw. Done. So we are going to learn about Blackbeard. I'm going to show you 6 pieces of information about Blackbeard. I want you to match the information, 1 to 6, with the words A to F. So here you can see 1 to 6. We have information about Blackbeard the pirate. And I want you to match that with the definitions below, A to F. Type your answers, please, in the chat. Have you hit that like button? Nipa, we're going to find out why he was famous. We're going to watch a video about him. We're going to watch a really cool video about Blackbeard. Yeah, Moto Buddy, you have it. When his gun's empty, he throws away the pistol. Manuel says, I love English pirates. No, Manuel says, no, Julia, I've read a lot about pirates. Spanish, English, Dutch. It's part of the history I learned when I was a child. So we got some answers here from Ahmed, Kashata, Zoya, Patricia Hassar, Zoya, as again, Katerina. And you had 30 seconds, and then I will start to give you the answers. By the way, everyone, do join our English learning community. We have a lovely English learning community where you can talk to other learners of English with text chat. And for this, we use Skype, but you don't need video or audio. It's just a text chat, and Skype was a good way of doing that. And you can get there by going to bit.ly/English Learner Chat. And that works best if you download Skype first. bit.ly/English Learner Chat. Right. Let's have some answers. So, Edward Thatch, that's his name. Okay, 1 second while Rich sorts his life out. Transform, no, reorder, bring to front. Okay. Edward Thatch is his name. Bristol, England is his hometown. The War of Spanish Succession is what he did before he turned pirate. Where he turned pirate is Nassau, the outlaw haven of Nassau. His teacher or mentor was Stede Bonnet, and his ship is called Queen Anne's Revenge. Now, can I ask you, who was Queen Anne, and why does he call his ship Queen Anne's Revenge? Interesting name for a ship. Why do you think Blackbeard called his ship Queen Anne's Revenge? Yes, Moto Buddy, I have a messenger chat, and that is bit.ly/English Learner Chat. You can join our community. Why did he call it Queen Anne's Revenge? So, Queen Anne was the Queen of England during the Spanish War of Succession. And Blackbeard was a soldier in the War of Spanish Succession. So actually, Blackbeard, he quite liked Queen Anne because he was a member of her navy before he turned pirate. And you can see his lovely pirate coat here is actually his navy uniform from the British Navy fighting for Queen Anne. So he calls his ship Queen Anne's Revenge because he quite likes Queen Anne. And obviously, he was going to sink a lot of French and Spanish ships, maybe Dutch as well. So everybody, we're going to watch a video. This is a video from a really cool history channel called Epic History TV. And we're going to watch a really interesting video here about Blackbeard the pirate. And while we watch the video, I'm going to give you a simple task. I want you to count the number of ships he attacks, okay? So as you watch the video, watch and listen and just count the number of ships Blackbeard attacks. Then, at the end of the video, we're going to talk about the information in the video. The video is quite difficult to understand, so if you can't understand everything, just focus on counting the ships. If you can understand the video, then try to remember the things that happen in the video. All right? Are we ready? Right, let's see. Let's see if this works.
Blackbeard's early life is shrouded in mystery. His real name was probably Edward Thatch, and he may have been a sailor from the English port of Bristol. Some believe he fought in the War of Spanish Succession, at the end of which he found himself unemployed in the Caribbean in the last great age of piracy. So he travelled to the outlaw haven of Nassau and turned pirate.
So remember everyone, just try to count the number of ships he attacked. At the moment, he's in the outlaw pirate haven of Nassau, and he's turning pirate. And we can see there Blackbeard's really cool pirate flag.
In the spring of 1717, he sailed as second in command to the pirate captain Ben Hornigold. They cruised America's east coast, seizing and plundering 8 merchant ships. That summer, Blackbeard met Stede Bonnet, known as the Gentleman Pirate, and took over command of his ship, the Revenge. Then he returned to terrorize the American colonies once more, capturing 15 ships in just 3 weeks. Blackbeard used fear as a weapon, terrifying opponents into a quick surrender. But there's no record of him ever torturing or murdering any of his victims. That autumn, Blackbeard sailed to the Windward Islands. Off St. Vincent, he captured La Concorde, a French ship carrying 500 slaves bound for the sugar plantations. Blackbeard refitted the ship with 40 guns and renamed her Queen Anne's Revenge. He now commanded one of the most powerful warships in the Caribbean. With 4 ships and 250 crew, Blackbeard rampaged through the West Indies, capturing and burning ships, as well as the French colony of Guadeloupe.
I love the music.
Then, he sailed west. In the Gulf of Mexico, he wrought havoc amongst Spanish shipping and earned himself a new nickname, El Gran Diablo, the Great Devil.
El Gran Diablo.
But despite many prizes, morale was low amongst Blackbeard's crew. They hadn't had a big haul in months. The men wanted gold. So Blackbeard sailed to the Florida coast, where the Spanish treasure fleet had been wrecked 3 years before. His men searched the wrecks for gold and silver, but scavengers had already taken the easy spoils, and they found little of value. Blackbeard continued north to Charleston, South Carolina. In the boldest move of his career, he blockaded the port for 6 days, seizing goods and hostages from any ships entering or leaving the harbour. Continuing up the coast, Blackbeard entered Topsail Inlet, looking for a hideaway. But his flagship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, ran aground and sank. Gentleman Stede Bonnet now chose to part ways with Blackbeard. 4 months later, he was dead, hanged in Charleston as a pirate. Blackbeard marooned part of his crew and sailed with his closest companions to Bath, North Carolina, where he secured a royal pardon from the governor as part of a pirate amnesty.
A royal pardon?
He and his men set up base on Ocracoke Island, but were soon back to their old ways, plundering 2 French ships out at sea. Blackbeard claimed his loot, 180 barrels of sugar, came from an abandoned ship, but few were fooled. Alexander Spotswood, Lieutenant Governor of the neighbouring colony of Virginia, now decided to deal with Blackbeard once and for all. Flouting colonial law, he sent a naval task force to North Carolina, with orders to take Blackbeard, dead or alive.
What do you think happens next? We have Alexander Spotswood, the governor of Virginia, sending the colonial fleet to take Blackbeard. I think the story is coming to an end here, folks.
Lieutenant Maynard of the Royal Navy and 60 men caught the pirates off guard at Ocracoke Island. Blackbeard was outnumbered 3 to 1, but he fought skillfully and bravely to the end. Finally, he was cut down by one of Maynard's men. His body was found to be covered with 20 sword cuts and 5 bullet wounds. Blackbeard's head was cut off and fixed to the bowsprit of the Navy sloop to prove he was dead. Blackbeard's reign of terror lasted less than 2 years, during which he plundered an estimated 40 ships. But his careful and deliberate use of terror forged a legend that would last for centuries. Epic history.
All right. So, let's talk about some of the things in the video. The final number is actually 40. It should be 40 ships. But let's forget about the ships for now. Let's talk about the story. Talk about what happened to Blackbeard the pirate. So why were these things mentioned in the video? Do you remember? So these things are Ben Hornigold, La Concorde, the French colony of Guadeloupe, El Gran Diablo. The men wanted gold. His ship ran aground and sank, and a royal pardon. So I'd like you to type your answers there in the chat. I want to know, why were these things mentioned in the video? Why were these things mentioned in the video? So type a number and then type the reason in the chat. I think Daisy Lee did pretty good there. You missed 2 French ships at the end. And I think you missed the Spanish ships also. But it's 40 in total, yeah. Okay, people are typing words like Ben Hornigold and El Gran Diablo and stuff. Can you tell me why were these things mentioned in the video? For example, here's the example answer for number 1. Ben Hornigold was the first pirate captain which Blackbeard served under. That's number 1. So, can you tell me number 2 to 7, why were those things mentioned in the video? So, what was La Concorde? Does anyone remember? Italian? No, it was French. Sounds like a... Okay, so number 2, La Concorde, it was a French slave ship. One of the biggest ships in the Caribbean. And Blackbeard captured that ship. And then he turned it into a pirate vessel by adding guns to it. And he renamed the ship Queen Anne's Revenge. So, Kashata, that's a good guess. It's not quite right. He didn't name himself El Gran Diablo. Number 3, the French colony of Guadeloupe. Blackbeard raided and burnt it. That's right, Julia Hatar. He put 40 guns on his ship, the Queen Anne's Revenge. Number 4, El Gran Diablo. It was the Spanish nickname for Blackbeard. That's right, Ekaterina. He renamed for the Terror. Specifically, the Spanish called him El Gran Diablo. Number 5, the men wanted gold, is despite his success with capturing ships, his crew were not satisfied. So Blackbeard's crew wanted a big haul. They wanted a big haul, which means they wanted a lot of treasure. So they wanted gold. And then Blackbeard got quite desperate and he blockaded the port of Charleston for 6 days. That means he stopped ships from coming in or going out, and he would get people to give him money to go in or come out of the port, Charleston. So that's desperate for a pirate to do something like that, because he only has 4 ships. And blockading a port, that is going to annoy the government. And once you annoy the government, you've got big problems. However, he gets very lucky, because after that, he goes and he gets a royal pardon. What is a royal pardon? A royal pardon which happened during a pirate amnesty. Moto Buddy, you can join our community, but the chat here should be about learning English. If you want to join our community, then feel free to make friends and whatnot. But here, let's keep it about English. Amnesty. Yeah, what's a pirate amnesty? What is a royal pardon? Amnesty from the Queen. What does that mean, though, Daisy? What does it mean for Blackbeard? It means he got official permission that he would not face justice for his crimes. So he was allowed to retire. However, did he retire? What happened next? What happened next? He was allowed to retire. He went to the island of Ocracoke Island, which, by the way, Ocracoke Island, very nice. Nice little island. Lovely little island, Ocracoke Island. Lovely place, lovely place. There we go, Ocracoke Island. What happened? His head was cut off. No. Oh, yes. Sorry, it was. Yes. His head was cut off. So Alexander Spotswood of North Virginia, the governor of North Virginia, took a colonial fleet, 60 ships, and they went down and they fought, and he was killed. And when they found Blackbeard's body, they found his dead body with 20 sword cuts and 5 bullet wounds. 5 bullets and 20 swords. Not bad. Not bad. And that's the end of poor old Blackbeard. That's the end of our story about Blackbeard. I have a homework task for you. Here is the homework task. I want you to imagine a pirate in the Caribbean. Imagine your own pirate in the Caribbean. Are they a man or a woman? What's their name? What do they look like? I want you to imagine a pirate in the Caribbean. Are they a man or a woman? What's their name? What do they look like? How did they become a pirate? What do they like doing? What do they want to do in the future? Notice the English here, the grammar. Are they a man or a woman? What's their name? What do they look like? We have pronoun they used for a man or a woman when I don't know, is it a man or a woman? Then we've got past simple. How did they become a pirate? Present simple. What do they like doing? And present simple for future. What do they want to do in the future? And finally, for homework, I want you to draw a picture of your pirate. So I want you to imagine a pirate. Are they a man or a woman? What's their name? What do they look like? How did they become a pirate? What do they like doing? What do they want to do in the future? And then finally, draw your pirate. And I am going to show you right now some of the pirates that my real students drew. Real students, in-person students. So I did this class recently with some lovely students, and we got some great pirates. So there's a lovely drawing of a pirate. Not quite as good. But all of these pirates had really interesting stories as well. By the way, these are adult students, not children. I did this class with adults because I think adults also can be creative. And in fact, creativity helps us to learn English, which is why I love to use creative tasks in my classes. So these are the interesting pirates that my students in class came up with following this. And this is what I would like you to do for homework. Imagine a pirate, answer the questions, and then draw a lovely picture of your pirate. And you can send that to me in our lovely English learners chat. Oh, I forgot to share that. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so here's the pictures of the pirates that my students drew. You can see some interesting characters there. And you can send your pictures to me on Skype. You can find me on Skype by joining our community. bit.ly/English learners chat or something like that, right? So there is the homework task. And now we're into question time. So any questions that you have about learning English, then you can type your questions now in the chat. And we have 20 minutes. So if you have questions about learning English, type your questions right now and I will give you my expert, professional, informed perspective as a language teacher with 15 years experience. Type your questions now. What questions do you have about learning English? What questions do you have about learning English? You can download the notes from today's lesson from the link which is in the description down below, and also I'm now going to post in the chat. Rich, could you please recommend a decent book about the history of England? Not really, Katerina. I don't really read a lot of books these days. I kind of watch videos and read websites. Let me see if I can find a book I used to read as a kid. Yeah, that could be good. So, the Usborne History of Britain. The Usborne History of Britain. Yes, okay. Usborne History of Britain. So I'll put a link for that in the chat. It's meant for kids, but kids' books are more fun. In general, Usborne books are really, really cool. Zoya says, how do you form possessive of James Chavez? What do you mean? How do you form the possession of James Chavez? What, you mean him? James Chavez? What is James Chavez? The possessive of James Chavez? That's just him, isn't it? I'm a little bit lost here. Sir, do you hate Pokemon? No. Oh, like Chavez is his thing? How do you form the possessive of... Oh, the possessive of James and Chavez. Right. I see what you mean now. Yes. Okay. Yep. So it's in fact like that. You were right. And when we actually say it... hang on.
Excuse me.
We say it like James's. No, sorry, we don't. We say just James. James Carr. Yeah. James Carr. Like that. Yeah, skip the S. It's just the apostrophe. Manuel says, do you believe there were female pirates? No. There were no female pirates. Today, maybe there are. But back then, you needed to be very physical. So, no female pirates. But Blackbeard did have a lot of girlfriends. Sir, your Facebook group link. I don't really use my Facebook group anymore. So maybe you're talking about our Skype community. Are you talking about our Skype community? Which is bit.ly/EnglishLearnerChat. By the way, everyone, if you haven't already, make sure that you smash that like button. Questions about English? Oh, Rich, please put all the homework again. I couldn't get all of it. Yeah, of course I can do that. Let's go back to the homework. It's right there. If there's no questions about learning English, then I am going to end the stream. How hard is it to practice pronunciation using the IPA? That's an interesting question. First of all, to learn the IPA is quite easy, but I suggest that you learn it in parts rather than trying to learn the whole thing in one go. Learning the whole thing in one go is quite difficult, but learning it in parts is not too bad. And I'll show you a little bit of the IPA now. I do like to talk about the IPA. It's not really the IPA that I'm going to use, actually. It's the British Phonemic Chart. the British Phonemic Chart. So, the British Phonemic Chart. Oh, by the way, English Learners Chart. And, I need to talk about that later. So, British Phonemic Chart. Here's the British Phonemic Chart. So, it looks like a lot, but if you learn it in parts, it's really easy. These are the vowels, the single vowels. These are the double vowels. And these are the consonants. A vowel is when there's just partial obstruction. E, o, u, e, or a, o. And then this side, e, a, u, oi, o, e, I, ow. They're the vowels. And then consonants, when you have a complete obstruction. P, b, t, d, ch, j, k, g, f, v, th, v, s, z, sh, j, m, n, ng, h, l, w, y. That's every sound in English. Congratulations. So it can be useful, can be very useful, especially it can be very useful for finding the specific sounds that you have a problem with in English. Yes, Pavia, there is a difference between phonetics and phonemics. Phonetic is every sound made by the human mouth. Phonemics is every sound in one language. So this is British English phonemics, which means all the sounds in British English. If we include phonetics, we have sounds that are not on this chart, which exist in other languages, like this sound from German and French, which is R. This sound does not exist in British English, but it does exist in German and French. So this would be a phonetic sound or a German phonemic sound or French phonemic sound. We also have the Spanish R, which we put like this, which also does not exist in English, and that is R or R. R, R, R. That's the Spanish R. Does not exist in English. We have a vowel sound which exists in Japanese and Spanish and Italian, and that vowel sound is O. 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 That sound does not exist in British English. So again, that's not a British English phonemic sound. It is a phonetic sound or a Spanish phonemic sound. O. Does that make sense? So that's the difference between phonemics and phonetics. If you want to get more linguistic about it, then we will say that phonemics are defined by the existence of a minimal pairs. A minimal pair is a word with a different word which is different only by one sound. For example, sit and fit differ only in the f and s sound, and that tells us that in British English there must be a phonemic, a phoneme which is s, and a phoneme which is f. And we know that because these two sounds are different, these two words are different with just that one sound. That's how we define in linguistics a phoneme. Phonetics is much more loose. Phonetics is every single sound possible. Have you ever heard of Richard the Lionheart? Yes, everyone knows Richard the Lionheart. He was a crusader and part of the legend of Robin Hood. Should I practice word by word and not a full sentence? No way, Kashata. No way. Practice full sentence. Don't practice word by word. If you're working with a teacher, you can practice word by word, and that can help you when you have problems with specific words or sounds. But for practicing on your own, always practice sentences and practice them with appropriate sentence stress, okay? They've let the cat out the bag. They've let the cat out the bag. They've let the cat out the bag. Oh, they've let the cat out the bag. 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 Cat out the bag. They've let the 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 cat out the bag. Now, why did I just do that? Oh, it's because I'm typing the phonemes. Well, that didn't work very well. Hang on. Okay. There we go. So, always practice pronunciation phrasally, or certainly most of the time. They've let the cat out the bag. They've let the cat out the bag. Cat. Left the cat out the bag. They've left the cat out the bag. Left. What do I say there? Left. They've left the cat out the bag. They've left the cat out the bag. Why am I saying left? What's wrong with me? They've let the cat out the bag. I've been streaming for too long. Yeah, there is a glottal stop. They let the cat out the bag. They've let the cat out the bag. So yeah, always practice phrasally. It's good for your fluency. It's good for your pronunciation. And if we practice isolated words, then it really changes the sounds and it makes them inappropriate, right? So we say, they have let the cat out the bag. They have let the cat out the bag. Okay. They have let the cat out the bag. Even if I say it fast. They have let the cat out the bag. They have let the cat out. No. Okay, forget it. They've let the cat out the bag. There we go. Right. Where are we? Blah, 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 blah. Manuel is Manuel in French. Blah, blah, blah. Legend. How do I deal with the boredom of teaching beginners, says Zoya. Ooh, dear. Well, Moto Buddy, thank you very much for joining us. Smash that like button. Tell all your friends. And I'm very, very, very happy to have you here today. See you soon. Zoya, what do you mean? So I teach beginners right now. I teach the asylum seekers and refugees. A lot of those are beginners. And I do all kinds of crazy topics. Pirates, space hotels, all sorts of weird stuff, right? So how do you replace the boredom of teaching beginners? Just remember, you can make a class for beginners about anything. You can talk about aliens. You can talk about space marines. You just need to be very careful with the vocabulary. So, instead of saying absolutely huge, you just say really big, right? You need to grade. One of the important skills of a language teacher is to grade your language. So you need to make that class suitable for beginners by grading the language. Word by word, you sound like a robot. Exactly, Kashata. Please smash that like button. Yeah, that's the phrase you're going to remember. Some students have to learn to be in the role of student first. Yeah, I don't know, Katerina. I think that's a cultural thing, but I often find that my students are very respectful. Right, we are wrapping up, everybody. Thank you very much for watching today. I hope this lesson was very useful to you. And I will be starting Professor Rich communication conversation classes very soon. So if you want to be part of that, you must join our English Learners chat. And you can see here that we will be having conversation classes 3 p.m. on Saturdays, which, for example, is in 5 minutes, but not today. We're going to start next week or the week after, and there will be an offer of some free classes for members of this community. And then there will be the super amazing offer price, special offer, incredibly cheap for 1 hour per week conversation club. And maybe we'll extend that as well if we get lots of people coming. So, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Check out the homework. I'll leave you with this lovely image and a bit of outro music, because we all love a bit of outro music. Thank you very much. Let's listen to a tune. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope this class has been interesting and motivating for you. I hope to see you all next week. and make sure to check out the channel Epic History TV, which was the video that I used today. Very much. Smash that like button. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely week. See you next time.